verse 23.
Well, I'll read it first, bro, so you can break it down.
Okay, come.
You said Colossians 3 and 23?
Yeah, come.
All right, I got it. It's Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. And it reads, "And whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord, and not unto men."
Right. So whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So your boss shouldn't be Esau or whoever your boss is. It should be Yahweh Shem Yahushai. When you do your daily life, when you do this work especially, it should be to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because he's the one who's constantly watching you. You know, Jake always worried about, oh man, I don't wonder if my boss see me. Just do what you're supposed to do, man. And because the Lord's he's ultimately the one who gives the increase. Okay, so he can put the spirit, come on, man, you can put the spirit on your boss to give you a raise or to give you a different schedule to where you can do more for the body or whatever it may be. Okay, but if as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, that's the scriptures say, that's the spirit. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. All these little things that, I mean, they seem big to us, but they're really little to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not doing anything but trying and testing our faith. You know what I'm saying? Rent might be a day and a half late. You know, phone bill overdue. You know what I'm saying? Child support, whatever. You know, those are minor, small things that the Lord just put there just to see, okay, how would you react in that situation? That's why it's required of us to do these things heartily. Baba Kusha.
Yeah, the definition for it in the Merriam-Webster dictionary is heartily, in an enthusiastic and energetic way, in a hearty way, which we got to be enthusiastic and energetic, man. That's why the scriptures say do this and be fervent in the spirit, man.
God.
Have that fervent heat, man. Be on fire for this thing, man. You got to be on fire. You can't be lukewarm, or we get spewed out, man. You know, so we have to be in this. You have to be about this thing, man. You have to live this completely or fully, in a hearty manner, with all sincerity, wholeheartedly, with zest or gusto, wholly, thoroughly. That was on that.
God. So it said thoroughly. It said sincerely. Okay. You said what?
Oh yeah, completely or fully.
Yep.
Full definition, in a hearty manner,
yep,
with all sincerity, wholeheartedly, with zest or gusto, wholly, thoroughly.
Right. So this is something that's honest, man. It requires honesty. You know what I'm saying? You give it your all. It says sweat, blood, and tears. You know, you're supposed to give Yahweh Shem Yahushai your blood, sweat, and tears, man, when you're coming into this truth and you're doing the work. Because he knows, man. I mean, if anybody knows, Yahweh Shem Yahushai knows, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as when you go home and, you know, brothers aren't physically having their eyes on you, you got spiritual eyes on you at all times, man. The Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So he sees everything. He sees the tribulations that you're going through that you might not, you know, everybody might not know or whatever, man. Okay, so when you do the work, you're doing that for him. You're proving to him that you believe in him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you show your faith by your works. So when you do that, the Lord is pleased in that. Okay, and so that's why it says do it wholeheartedly, do it heartedly. Okay, do it with honesty, man. Okay. Because if you read, well, Baba Kusha, could you continue in verse 24?
Verse 24. Knowing that of the Lord you shall receive the reward of the inheritance.
So there it is. You're going to receive the reward of the inheritance. So that's why you do it heartedly, man. Okay? Because you're going to receive a reward. You know? Especially in school when you was a kid, you would always want to, you know, be the good kid, because, you know, you always, you know, get little treats and rewards and stuff like that. Don't make it a competition. Well, this thing should be a spiritual competition. Who can do the most for Yahushua? Now, not, you know, being over righteous, but as far as, you know, when you're getting tried and when you're getting hell put on you, man, you're supposed to do your part, okay? Because he's gonna reward you openly.
Right. That's why in verse 24 it says, knowing that of the Lord you shall receive the reward of the inheritance. Okay. So the elect are gonna know this, man. They're gonna believe it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you do it to the best of your ability, because why? You believe that the Heavenly Father is going to reward you at the end of the day. And that's the thing we have to ask, each man has to ask himself that, do you believe that?
Yep.
Do you have faith in that, man? Because the guys that fell out, they didn't have faith in that, man. Otherwise, they would have continued, you know? So you have to know and believe this, man, and have faith that the Heavenly Father is going to reward you for all this hell that you catch. You know, all these different situations you're going through. You have to know that the Most High is going to reward you if you keep pushing, man. You know? In the middle of verse 24, for you serve the Lord Hamashiach. Do you want verse 25 as well?
Yeah, you can get that too.
Verse 25, but he that doeth wrong shall receive of the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons.
Right. So I mean, if you turn aside, man, and do the wrong thing, you still gonna get rewarded for your actions. So you might as well do the right thing. You're gonna get a reward either way. Whichever way you go, on the left hand or the right hand side, you're still gonna get a recompense, okay, for the things that you do. So if you want a good reward, then do good things for the Lord. You know, I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's easier said than done. So.
Right. So like I said, there's no respect of person, man. So it don't matter how long you've been in this thing. If you don't endure to the end, if you don't fight to the end and do your work to the end, it doesn't matter.
Yep. Who
cares if you did 10 years? If you're not continuously doing it now, man, there ain't no respect of persons. No matter what you did. Most I was about, what have you done for me lately? Yeah, that's cool. But if you quit, then all that stuff is for nothing, you know?
God. Could you get that in Mark?
It's Mark chapter 14. It's at the top.
Yeah.
Starting at the top, verse 1. After 2 days was the feast of the Passover and of unleavened bread, and the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might take him by craft and put him to death. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar of the people.
Yeah, and that's spiritual because we're coming up right around this time. Tomorrow at sundown, February 15th, makes the first day of our year, according to to Hebrew tradition, Hebrew Israelite tradition. And so it says, after 2 days before the feast of the Passover, that's what, 10 or 12 days into the first year. So that's, we're in that same time period. So this is right around when Yahushua, was about to be put to death. Okay, so it's important to keep that in mind. Go ahead, brother.
Come on. At verse 3, and being in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of ointment of spikenard, very precious. And she brake the box and poured it on his head. And there were some that had indignation within themselves and said, why was this waste of the ointment made? For it might have been sold for more than 300 pence and have been given to the poor. And they murmured against her.
Right. So basically, they were eating in the house, right? They were communing and things of that nature. And this woman broke a box of ointment, okay, or of oil, anointing oil, basically, and poured the oil on Yahushua's head and anointed him, okay. And the men that saw that were like, why did you do that? You know what I'm saying? You could have easily sold that. They saw it as something that they could have sold and, gave to the poor, whatever, right? But they were being carnal. They didn't really understand what this was, what the reason was for. And so Yahushua broke it down to them.
Verse 6, and Yahushua said, let her alone, why trouble ye her? She hath wrought a good work on me. For ye have the poor with you always, and whensoever ye will, ye may do them good. But me ye have not always.
Right. So he's saying, like, look, leave this woman alone. The thing that she did was, it wasn't wicked. It was good. You know what I'm saying? Because you can always sell. You can always give alms and do good to the poor, but Yahushua was only going to be there for what? It said 2 days before the feast of the Passover, so 2 more days, and he was gone. So you have to be able to spiritually prioritize. We're going to see certain things that might not make sense, to a carnal man, but that's why we have to remain spiritual.
That's right, and that woman represents the elect, man.
Come on.
you know. And that's what we're doing. We're using those things to glorify Yahweh Shai. And that's what these other camps, these other groups don't understand, man. Why we're giving so much praise and glory and depending on Yahweh Shai. And spiritually anointing him and giving him glory every chance we get. Because they're carnal, man. And we understand that he is the way, man. That through the name Yahweh Shai and what he did and his actions is what's going to deliver the elected nation Israel and ultimately the whole nation, man. And so they can't fathom why we're giving so much glory to him, man. But that's a testament to the elect's faith. And it was a testament to her faith, man. The faith that she had on Yahweh Shai. You know? Continuing on. Verse 8. She had done what she could. She has come aforehand to anoint my body to the burying.
Right, and that's the point, man. She had done what she could. Because what's the topic of this lesson? Do what you can through the Spirit so that you can receive the reward. Okay? Now, she couldn't save Yahweh Shai from going up on the cross. She couldn't, clear his mind and ease his pain that he was about to endure. But she did have that charity. She had that faith that this is what needed to happen, man. Okay? Because it was fit. You know, she didn't ask anybody, hey, should I pour the oil on his head and anoint him? She just did it out of faith and out of reverence to Yahweh Shai because she knew that he was a man of the Lord, you know? And it was that perfect time to do that, you know? It would be better to anoint him with that oil than to sell it, you see? And so that's why she did that. And that's why it was accounted unto her for righteousness, because she had faith.
She wants more on that?
You can just read that last verse.
Kind. Verily I say unto you, whosoever this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, this also that she had done shall be spoken of for a memorial of her. Right.
To let the nation of Israel know that this thing was a righteous thing that she did. Okay. And that's basically the point on that.
Yep. And then, so that's also representative of the elect as well, man.
Yep.
The book of life, man, there's going to be a memorial written for the men that stood so stiffly, man. Receive no palms for glorifying Yahweh Shai, man. You know? And so and that's what we're fighting for, to be remembered and have praise and fame and getting everything you want, man. You know, for glorifying Yahweh Shai. Okay? And that's why he said she did what she could, and that's what the brothers go into, man. Do what you can, man. Stand in your lot and glorify the Most High, Yahweh Shai, to the best of your ability, man. Okay. You know, in your particular lot, you know, run your particular race and do what you can, and to the best of your ability, what the Most High has given to you, and operating within that, you know.
Okay. Which requires faith, and that's why we want to get that in Hebrews 11 and 6. Okay.
God, Hebrews chapter 11. Verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Right. So without faith, man, it's impossible to please Yahweh Shai. Okay? And when you show that faith, he's gonna give you something in return for your deeds, man. The scriptures say that he is not unrighteous to forget your labor and love. Okay, so all of this work and labor that we do for him, these hours that we take out of our lives, which are really, spent in vain anyway, we really can't spend anything. We can't spend our time more wisely than partaking in this ministry, man. There's nothing out in the world that you could be doing that would be more profitable to your salvation, okay, and to your eternal status than this word, than doing the work. It's just true, because the Lord doesn't esteem, you going to holler at some hoes, or playing video games or whatever. We all have pastimes, but he esteems this work way above anything that you could that you could do, man.
That's right. That's why you get out. That's why you do the work first, man.
Yeah.
You do those things first, and whatever you, like the brother saying, no one sits in the corner out there in a lotus position, reading scriptures all day. You're gonna gas out and you're gonna regurgitate everything that you ever learned.
Right.
gas out, man, because you weren't balanced in your life.
Right.